countdown.
What is up, guys? It is Friday, January 24th, 2025. My name's Cole, and you've somehow stumbled onto episode 1 of the Micro Galaxy Squadcast, the internet's only show dedicated to all things Micro Galaxy Squadron. And we are beyond pumped to be back here with you. New year comes new name, new segments, a new squad of guest hosts that we are really, really excited about. But the one thing that isn't new, my co-host, Mr. Microfleet himself, Kevin Tanner. Buddy, it's been 6 weeks. It's been 6 weeks since we've been on together. How have you been?
Yes, it has. I've been doing great, man. It's great to be back finally. I mean, certainly it's been a long layoff. You and I have been doing a lot of behind the scenes work here to get this thing rolling. So
much.
So
much
excited
work.
to finally be back. Absolutely. Yep. How about
Um,
yourself?
Yeah, no, tons and tons and tons of work. What's up, DC Metro? I am really pumped. I think we've done some things that will help us remain consistent. That some might argue that was an issue before.
Yes,
Being
always
consistent.
a challenge. Always a challenge.
It's tough. Kids, work, all kinds of things. I get it. So my idea was to bring on a pool of guest co-hosts to pull from, where it can be we can be 3 of us each week, but that is a rotating chair that if one of us ever has to take a week off, the show can go on, and we can still be on here chatting our favorite toy line.
Yeah, whose idea was the new name? That was Mr. Cole there.
Yeah, so if you hate it was Kevin's idea. But yeah, it's just the idea of bringing on a whole squad to help us out here, and we will. I'm excited about them. We will reveal those people very, very soon. This is it. It's awesome to be back. I'm super pumped.
Yeah, agreed.
This will be going up as an audio podcast as well. So if you miss it, if you don't want to catch the video, they'll be up on Kevin's YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, but it will be an audio podcast as well on all the podcast services, Spotify, Apple. Who knows? Maybe they'll throw Android in there as well. I don't know. I don't know how podcasts on Android work. I'm sure they figured that out in the last 15 years, how to get podcasts on Android.
Yeah, no, I kind of feel the same way. If it's not Apple, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's 2025.
So, without further ado, do you want to just go ahead and reveal who's going to be helping us out?
Yeah, let's go through our squad. So super excited that through the connections that we've made, and especially Cole here, been able to get together a group of incredible collectors. So and others that are passionate about not just Micro Galaxy Squadron, but I'm sure you'll recognize some of these people
they make
from
sense.
our community.
I think they make sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
They all collect the line. They all currently are content creators and streamers. So I think it makes sense. They've been kind to me throughout the last couple of years and have supported me. So I was kind of surprised that everyone I reached out to said yes instantly. I think that says a lot about them. They want to be a part of this. I didn't have to barter with anybody or say, you come on this, I'll come on whatever, you can have a cut of whatever. They just wanted to be a part of it. And I think that says a lot. So number 1 makes a whole lot of sense. Adam from Nostalgic Adam.
Mr. Nostalgic Adam.
Yes. Long time. He's been collecting the line almost since the beginning. I mean, he's been around a long time, has always been super kind to me. He has tons of tons of video content for Micro Galaxy. You can check out his Instagram, Nostalgic Adam, his YouTube channel. He does all kinds of stuff. Halo, Sonic. He is big into Sonic right now.
Big into
Pokemon
Sonic,
plush,
big
Star
into
Wars.
Pokemon. Yep.
I saw he just did a Ghost video. HasLab Ghost, that is.
Yeah, I saw that.
But he's always on it with making great content. And super chill and kind dude. We are so happy to have him. Number 2, Kevin from Toying Around, who I've kind of collaborated with a little bit in the past. Again, another really chill, awesome guy. Collects Micro Galaxy Squadron, collects all kinds of things.
All kinds of
He's
stuff,
on
man.
Instagram, Toying Around. He's on YouTube. He does enablers where they unbox and hang out with a whole crew of people, and super glad to have him on. Check out his stuff if you don't. I believe a couple of these people will be in Japan for a celebration. So,
really? Nice. So
I
maybe we can
haven't
get
hit
some
them up for
pictures.
this yet, but I will be hitting them up for
The exclusive.
some info. So, we can hopefully get some content from celebration with boots on the ground, as they say. Kevin, American Kevin, that is Canadian Kevin. We'll have to figure that out. I don't know. We'll have to come up with a nickname. Mr. Microfleet, number 3, if you will.
Nice. All right, our next one.
Yoko McCann, Livin' La Vida Yoko. She is on Instagram, Twitch, YouTube as well. She is also on she'll pop in on Enablers sometimes with Kevin. She does collecting, weekly pickup videos, travel vlogs, things like that. Loves Star Wars, loves Micro Galaxy Squadron. I believe works for Nerdy Rock Love Jewelry, which is very cool. So she's at a lot of the shows for work, which is great. So
I don't know Yoko. She's a new one, so I'll have to add
check
her
her
to
out.
my,
she's amazing.
Instagram.
Super happy to have her on board. She's excited. I'm excited. Should be fun. And to round out the 4, I took a big swing for the fences.
This is a big swing for the fences.
I did.
I'm glad,
I don't know what unearned confidence I have to have swung and suggested this, but it worked out in our favor because our 4th and final guest host, schedule permitting, is none other than New Republic fighter pilot Carson Teva himself, the captain,
the Angry Appa,
Paul Sun-Hyung Lee.
Yes, super excited to be able to have him on. That'll be awesome. Yeah, yes, he's a huge fan as well. Has been on the reveals, like when you went through and did the reveal with Jazzwares.
Yep.
As well as
he has a great relationship with Jazzwares. He is an avid collector, avid Star Wars fan, and just happens to be a part of the Star Wars universe, which is an awesome get for us. Could not be more excited about that. Now, who knows, when Avatar season 3 comes along or whatever he's doing, these, I don't know what kind of Columbo in Canada show he's on right now. The Murdoch Mysteries, something like that. Do we have any Canadians in chat? He's on Murdoch Mysteries, something like that. But no, big fan of his work, big fan of him as a person. And we are very fortunate to have him and all these guys along for the ride. So tonight is just Kevin and myself, but going forward, we will hopefully have one of those squad mates tag along with us.
Yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be great to get some fresh perspective as well. And all of them obviously, I'm much more of a niche collector. I am just like Micro Galaxy Squadron all the way, plus so a few other little things, but it's interesting to see some of what they all collect and get a different perspective. So yeah, I'm excited.
It's going to be fun. So,
Because you can see. Let's
remember
hope
to
so.
subscribe to the audio podcast tomorrow when it comes out. I'll have to actually put an episode up before it'll show up. But check that out. And also tomorrow we will have a giveaway going on at Micro Galaxy Squadcast. It's going to be hard to jump back and forth, Kevin. I'm realizing one has been rolling off the tongue for almost 3 years now. So
yeah.
At Micro Galaxy Squadcast on Instagram is the new account. Check it out. There will be a giveaway that should be pretty fun. Robert Caleb, good friend of ours, helping us out by offering up some of his collection, which is
It's some good stuff too.
If you don't follow me, I gave away everything but my shirt in December, and I have nothing left.
Yeah, you really did give away a lot of stuff.
I have almost nothing left. I made some room. It wasn't totally altruistic. I'm trying to cleanse the collector's room here of some stuff, but yeah, there's not much rattling around anymore. Duplicates.
Oh, nice. That's good for you. You can see all mine sitting right over there behind me.
the vault stack.
Yeah, they're stacked up. I have a display up there that has all of the mini heads for Micro Machines, and
yes,
that's getting covered now. So
oh man,
I don't know what I don't know what I'm going to do. Yep.
No pun intended. Kevin,
that's great.
Super stoked about all those people coming on with us, but let's pivot and jump into things I'm also super stoked about.
Sure.
The news.
Yeah, we do have some news. So we had a couple things come up here this past week, or maybe I don't remember when this dropped. It might have been middle of last week.
A couple retail updates. I think in this version, we probably won't jump through every series like we've done in the past, but I think we will highlight anything that is new and relevant on store shelves.
Yeah,
ahead of just general product news or reveals or anything like that. There's been some retail updates in the last few weeks, right, Kevin?
Yes, there have been. So certainly we're getting a bunch of resets going on right now with Target and Walmart. So there's tons of stuff on clearance. Looks like Target's got finally has Anakin's Naboo Starfighter. That's up there. I know it's been a while,
and I believe all the starfighters, right? That's what I'm seeing across the board. I think is tons and tons of reports of starfighter. So I typically, when I see as many reports of that price as I have, it's probably a store-wide sale. It gets murky with what's store-wide and what's specific to one person's store.
Agreed. And so if you do go to Target or to Walmart and you check and they don't have the clearance stuff up there, take it to one of the scanners in the store and check it. I did that in my local one and it was on sale, even though the tag still showed full price. So we've got that going on right now. There has been some Boonta Eve packs that have been on clearance as well, down. I think they're 50% off. And those are some of the big ones just from the in-store clearance. But right now, it seems like we're in a little bit of a holding pattern as Walmart does toy resets and Target is doing them as well. So we should see more stuff here come in soon, which is great. And then we also had an Amazon drop, which was pretty exciting to see.
I will say the Walmart thing might be the biggest news of the night. That might be the biggest news of the last few weeks, is that the Genevex is finally getting clearance from Walmart.
Yes, agreed. Yeah,
they're store wide, I believe. I mean, it's pretty seems to be pretty across the board that that clearance is hitting this light armor. So yeah, Sith Infiltrator, some stores have had on discount too. But yeah, Walmart finally seems to be getting rid of those Series 1 light armor, and I could not be. It may be the best news, Kevin.
Yeah.
The Gen effects are going to be gone. It's, to me, what it seems to be happening is they are everything that's under that askew assortment now is basically getting clearanced, and I believe
Yep.
when they get the next round of light armor, it'll be under a different code. And that's kind of
Got
how
it.
they'll differentiate going forward, and they won't have that stuff clearance down. They'll know to reorder that under the new code. I
Yeah, it
think.
certainly
I don't work
seems like
retail,
that.
but
Yeah, it seems like that, and that's been one of the slight fears that I've had is, we just got the first set of, or the first couple shipments of Series 7 light armor class, and then it all gets clearanced out. So hopefully that's just a holding pattern until they bring in the new stuff and it just comes in under the new SKU, but it's still Series 7. So
exactly, and it looks like
fingers
that
crossed
stuff
this
is
is
coming based on Walmart's loose lips
mm,
on their website listings.
nice, nice.
We'll get to
So
that maybe next episode.
yeah, yep. So then we also have here, we have the Boba Fett starship, the Empire Strikes Squadron, and this version looks awesome. This is the way that I would have expected it to be when
I
we got it
love it.
at the very beginning. So yeah, the quality of the paint deco is so much better. You actually do get a Han in carbonite.
There's real
You get
saturation to the color.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't have that really nasty gray wash on it. That's so bad, and looks like we're going to be getting Boba in his Empire outfit, as well as you got the Han in carbonite, and then you also have a Stormtrooper. So Stormtrooper is kind of like an interesting one to have up there as well, mainly
Yeah,
just because
we talked about this for a
yeah,
second before. I my guess is they're kind of going for the carbonite slab being loaded onto the ship from
right.
that scene. Um, and it's a way for them to repack what I believe is probably two. I
Tom.
believe this is probably two repacks here of the figures. This is probably
Hmm.
just a repaint of the Boba that we got in Classic Carcoon. If I
Yes.
had to guess, I haven't zoomed in and looked too
Yeah, I would
closely.
agree. It looks similar, very similar.
You can't have too many stormtroopers throw that in, so they really only had to do one new mold here for these. And while we're on the topic of that scene being kind of what they were going for, I know you mentioned it looks so good.
It does look so
I know
good,
you
doesn't it?
mentioned earlier the title of the listing mentioned
Yep.
a flight stand.
Yeah.
A lot of people got really excited about a flight stand. I will say
Agreed.
it does not show that on the back here, a flight stand. Kevin, if you want to go to the front of the box picture,
Yep.
the flight stand is in this image.
Yeah, where is it? Is it behind it?
It is not. It is a tiny little thing just to the right of Han's feet. The flight stand,
Just to the right of Han's feet.
yes, the flight stand is a tiny little stand that the carbonite lays on to float that we see in that scene.
Oh my gosh, no way. Is that, are you
Flight
serious?
stand might have been a little bit of a tease, I think, with
Oh yeah.
that naming convention there. I wouldn't call it
That's
a flight
funny.
stand, maybe a hover stand.
Hover stand is what I'd call that.
Can you see? Do you see what
Absolutely.
I'm talking about
I
now?
do. Yeah, yeah, I see that.
That's the flight stand right there. So
That is hilarious.
anybody anybody who was super excited for that flight stand to hold it up vertically, you're still gonna have to buy something from Kevin
Yep.
to get
Yep.
that
I
to
have one
stand
of
up.
those. I have a flight stand that we can get. So I still have that on my Etsy page if anybody wants to get it.
What's up, Austin? Good to see you.
Yep. Can't wait for this one either. This does look awesome. incredibly well done, especially considering the version we had before. I mean, I'd even tried cleaning the wash off of the Series 1 version, and it just still didn't look right. But seeing that,
I
the
know.
first images when it pops up, it's like, that's the one I've been
So
looking for.
while the drop of this was a total surprise,
Yeah.
I think we've long suspected that. Hey, what's up, Steve? We'll be
Yeah,
talking about you
Steve.
a little later.
Yeah, I know.
I
We
don't
got
think I don't think you know this.
yeah.
We have long suspected that this was coming because they future-proofed the Slave One mold after the first release.
Hmm.
The tab that holds the armory piece in place
Oh yeah, that's
was
right.
adjusted for Django's version,
Yep.
and it was adjusted to the exact same size as the slabs that came with the Razor Crest.
Yes,
So
that's right.
it's long been suspected that that was a little bit of a future proof for this inevitable repaint here.
Yes. If anybody
And
did not know that, if you open up
yeah,
the armory for the original Boba Fett starship and then Django's armory in his, they're different
slightly
sizes.
smaller.
Slightly smaller. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good
So
catch. You showed that to me very early on, and I was like, oh yes.
I knew because in my mind I'm like, this has to hold carbonite. I'm like, the
Right.
armory, it's fine, whatever. That's nothing that we see. It's
Hmm.
got to hold carbonite. So when they had when that version came out and it was moved, I'm like, it's coming. We know
Yeah. Yep.
the one we all know and love is coming. And I'm it's definitely going to be my de facto definitive Slave One that I'm putting up with my mixed Boba Fett shelf wherever it is over here.
Yeah.
It's cut out of the image, unfortunately.
Agreed. You're going to need to print one of those flight stands
Yeah, but
from Kevin's
$35 on
Kevin's
Amazon.
microfleet.
I don't know. Is this
Yeah, it did go up a little bit in price. Maybe it's for
what?
the extra figure that you're getting.
What are we doing here? Yeah, it's still Starship class, but they're re-releasing it, so I could see. I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, I don't know if that's an Amazon move or if that's a Jazzware move or
Mm,
if they're worried about tariffs or something. Who knows, man? I don't know where that extra $5 is from, but
yeah.
we'll see. There is nothing in the title of this that says exclusive. So if you missed out on the pre-order, it's going to be back up, I'm sure. It'll be back up on Amazon, but my guess is this will also show up at other retailers. And then we get that good thing where they start competing on price, like we've seen with the T6 and the ATTE and some things like that, even the Ghost.
Yeah.
But what a surprise drop! They couldn't have prepped us for that or anything. I don't know if Amazon went rogue and just dropped it or
Yeah.
what happened there, but that's always one of those. I think with kind of what we do, you see something like that pop up, and it's like, oh my goodness, the next hour of my day is totally derailed as I
Hmm.
am pulling and cropping images and
Yeah.
typing
I'm
up
trying to
posts,
post,
and
and I know.
I've got to hit Facebook and Reddit and Instagram and all the places. So it's nice when we do have a little bit of a heads up, but
That's right.
that was fun. Fun. We were in a little bit of a dry spell, so the excitement. I didn't hate the excitement.
No, agreed. Yeah. Fortunately, somebody posted it on Facebook. I saw it and then
Mm-hmm.
sent the message right to you and said, "Hey, man, did you see this?" Uh, so no, that's great. Yeah. So thanks to the community for continuing to post those things as you guys
Yeah,
see
it's
them.
always hard when something like that pops up, and I'm like at real work in the middle of something,
Right.
and I have to explain to them I've got to go
I
to
gotta
the
hit the
bathroom for a
I
long
gotta hit
time.
the bathroom for like an hour. I'll
I'm
see you all in a
sorry,
little while.
my stomach hurts.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck doing whatever it was that I was just doing. But we did have another newsworthy drop that came up here just the other day, which was very exciting to see. Our first view of the silencer. So this will be a Vault
January Vault drop.
exclusive. Yeah, Vault exclusive coming out here next Wednesday on the 29th. This is the first to market TIE silencer, Kylo Ren's TIE silencer. It's got some pretty sweet packaging on there. So similar to what we got with the V19. It looks like it has literally the same packaging. It's going to have that matte finish on the outside. It's got the little window on the side to be able to see inside of it. The one interesting thing about this, I was thinking, Cole, here is the size of it. Now, we have seen some pictures and some leaks from China that showed us how those wings come off. And
Mm-hmm.
so, I think this is going to be packaged very similar to the Whisper when we actually get it in the package, the Starfighter class package, because we did see that this is also likely coming in Series 8.
Like the Whisper, yeah, it'll be broken down probably.
Now, this is this first to market exclusive is supposed to have some premium deco on it. So we haven't seen really any. Have you seen any images of the interior of the cockpit?
I have. There's one on the website somewhere. I wish I had pulled that one for this, but I didn't see
Yeah.
any deco. But it's the cockpit open.
Yep.
So it's possible that on the control panel there's some deco,
Yeah.
but
Right.
none
Agreed.
in
That's
the
kind of
images
similar
I've
to what they
seen.
had with the
I
V19 too. The
Yeah,
V19 just has a little bit of stuff in the interior of the
it's
cockpit.
so, and that one had a little bit of battle damage, I think, too, or scoring on it.
Hmm.
I'm not seeing what the premium deco is on this.
Yeah, unless it's
Um,
the green laser
that's the only
cannons on the
thing I can
side.
think of is
Yeah,
those little tips of neon green there.
maybe
Um,
it's a detail in the back panel that comes off.
yeah, I know the hat
Sure.
that the kind of back of it pops off.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. So I've heard it both ways
Hmm.
from people that it might be just the premium packaging for this one and first to market.
Yeah.
Um, I was also assured that it did have premium interior and exterior deco.
Okay.
So I don't know. The lasers are maybe the only
Hmm.
thing on it. I don't know.
Agreed. Yeah, and it does look like the figure that we're getting with this, which we don't have an image of that here, is just going to be the standard Force Awakens Kylo Ren.
Yeah, they made Force Awakens Kylo Ren and gave us
Yeah.
Rise of Skywalker and Last Jedi ships.
Yeah. Exactly. Although it
So
would be super impressive.
maybe at some point we'll have a TFA ship to go with the TFA Kylo.
Yeah, it would be super impressive if they were able to get those red lines on the reconstructed mask,
Oh my
considering
god,
how
I
that
don't know how they
mold
do
is
that, but
designed.
it would
Yeah, I
be
don't think they
insane if they were
could.
able to do that.
Yeah, you'd have to hand paint that on there.
Mm, I don't know what product he was designed and tooled for.
Hmm.
Um, you'd assume one of these. In my mind, I probably would have gone for Rise of Skywalker or Last Jedi look, just because you get two movies out of one look, essentially, minus
Right.
the stuff on the
Hmm. Sure.
uh, kintsugi. I think is what they call it. All the welded pieces on the helmet.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's funny when things like that happen. I'd love to know what led to that being the case.
So the cockpit is different than the Whisper. The wings are the same. No, the wings are totally different. Yeah.
It's totally new.
Yep. Here's what that looks like. I mean, the Whisper wings are much narrower. I thought that the proportions on that just didn't quite look right on the Whisper, to be perfectly honest.
Really.
Yeah, it just seemed like at least from you get the TIE interceptor and those wings are super tall. And even when he's flying, I mean, it still looks like the wings are relatively tall. It doesn't look like they're as thin as they are in the actual Micro Galaxy one, but
I like it though.
Yeah.
It's a great one.
That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
the TIE Echelon would be cool for a Parks exclusive.
Yep, agreed.
So the only thing I can come up with is I would love if they reused that Kylo with his shuttle from TFA.
Yes.
Throw in a
Yeah,
bunch
that
of
would be
First Order
really cool.
stormtroopers and do his landing shuttle.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. I'd love that.
That would be cool. That'd be an awesome Dreadnought class vehicle.
Yeah. So that one we believe $30, same price as the
Yeah.
V19. That'll be this coming Wednesday, the 29th, I believe.
Yep, that's correct.
That'll be this coming Wednesday, the 29th at 12 p.m. noon Eastern.
That's right.
So I don't think you have to cancel a meeting or skip a lunch to be there when that one drops. My guess is
Yeah.
that'll probably
Agreed.
still be up there when you're done.
Yep. Yep.
It
It's
looks
probably going to
cool. I
be,
like it, but
it does
I
look
think
cool.
it's I'm not worried about this one selling out in 20 minutes.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, if we had a comparison of that to what the standard release is going to look like, just to kind of get a comparison of the two. Because I'm pretty sure that the V19 is going to be different. That the standard release of the V19, it may not be the same like
I would
brownish
hope so.
color.
I think that's a discussion we can get into at some point about
Yeah.
these first look editions and the perceived value of them. But
Hmm.
um, one other tiny tidbit that popped up last week was Star Wars Celebration came out and made a post, and officially, I don't think it was.
Hmm.
I don't think anybody thought this wouldn't be the case, but they did officially announce that Jazzwares and Micro Galaxy Squadron will be at Celebration and have a booth, and several from the team will be there. So make sure if you're flying to Japan for that, check out the booth and send us some pictures, tag us in them. I
Yeah,
can't wait to see.
absolutely.
I know they typically have had big showings at
Hmm.
Celebration, um,
Yeah.
big displays. They've really knocked it out of the park somewhere. I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything about a panel being mentioned, but my guess is that will come pretty. That the schedule will probably be revealed closer to the actual event. Would love to be there, but fortunately, we have some people on the team that will be there.
Yeah. Was a
Wow,
panel
Nick,
mentioned
that's
anywhere?
awesome.
Was a panel mentioned? I think they did. No, maybe.
No, no panels yet, but that's what I was saying. I think probably closer to the event,
Mhm.
we'll see some. Yeah, Nick, take some video, take some
Oh
pictures,
yeah, for
and
sure.
shoot them our way.
That'd be great. Oh, the Onyx Cinder. Yeah. I mean, the one thing is there's been two things I think that have been very interesting about this line. So previously we had been able to get the brand manager on here at the very beginning of Micro Galaxy Squadron and do some interviews. And there were often these little hints of like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we got this? Or wouldn't it be cool if we got that? Maybe if we got a Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett starship. That would be cool. And so a lot of those things have come to fruition. And the other thing is, as you've been talking about it, Cole, is a lot of the Lego sets that are made seem to be getting transitioned into Micro Galaxy Squadron. I never would have thought that we would have gotten a Fiend Fighter. And the
Yeah,
fact that we got the two Fiend Fighters, I was like, man, wow,
because
that is really
that's
cool.
usually a sign to me of what Lucas is pushing and wants
Sure.
made.
Yeah.
When you see and Lego, man, they get that stuff early. Their relationship with Lucasfilm is nuts. And also
Hey,
just
Chris. Great last name, by the way, Chris.
uh,
Thanks for the
just
order. I appreciate it.
I think the way their engineers have that software built where they can design those ships, there
Hmm.
and they have molds for all the pieces already made. Their turnaround is probably much faster
Sure.
than something like Micro Galaxy or even Hasbro. But
Right.
they get that info so early. But yeah, that's usually a really good indicator of like, oh, this is something new. Lucasfilm is pushing this ship from this new media. There's a decent chance that will show up in Micro Galaxy.
Yeah. No,
We'll
that's a good
see.
point. That's a good point. Yeah. So hopefully we get the Onyx Cinder. How cool would it be if we got both versions of it? That would
Yeah,
be sick.
we'll touch on that a little later, I think.
Yeah.
Moving on from the news, typically this is where we can chat with everybody and kind of show off for a few minutes what we've picked up in the last 2 weeks between episodes, whether it be Micro Galaxy or anything else cool we've grabbed.
Yeah.
I believe, Kevin, do you still have only an hour tonight?
Yeah, I've got probably close to that. We'll probably
Okay.
do just a little bit
Yeah,
over.
so we'll brush past our recent pickups and show and tell tonight. But I did I got the HasLab Ghost in on Christmas Eve,
Ooh.
and that thing is still in my garage, has not been touched.
Oh, you haven't taken it out of the garage yet?
Kevin, that
Man,
thing is so unbelievably massive that I
that's like
have
a
a
piece of
new
furniture.
appreciation. I haven't even opened it, but it's given me a new appreciation for the Micro Galaxy Ghost and how
Yeah.
perfect and compact and manageable that size is. And I like the wash and the deco on it even more than I did when it first came out. Because
Yep.
to
Look at that. You
me,
can.
the that Ghost came out looking a little. There's not a lot of wash on it or any wash. I think it's just kind of printed weathering that's been
This is
printed
on the
onto it.
HasLab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It desperately needs a wash on it to make those details pop. So to me, it kind of looks just like a hunk of plastic.
Mm-hmm.
But I
I
think
would agree.
you're really buying that to be able to open it up and get actual figures inside and the play area inside. More like a diorama than a display ship. But
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, the color's a little bit controversial. I totally agree with you, Dave. Even if it's not totally canon, the colors that are on the Micro Galaxy Ghost just pop, and it is infinitely more interesting than the other versions I've seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd agree.
So I don't even know. I haven't matched it up against like the replicas they used in Ahsoka or anything like that, or even from Rebels, but it looks good. And that, at the end of the day, something that looks great and pops off the shelf, 10 times out of 10, I'm gonna rather have that than something that is a little more accurate, but just doesn't make me feel the same when I see it up on a shelf.
Yeah.
But I'll dig into that soon. I'll maybe try to do a video or something like that. I know it may already be out. Canadian Kevin, toying around, has a video up that I think it's free for people right now. I'm not sure. I know it was on Patreon for stuff like that, but he's got
Mm-hmm.
he did a massive video in like a actual studio where he unboxed that HasLab and compares it to, I believe, Micro Galaxy and
Oh, really?
stuff like
That's
that.
pretty
So
cool.
I'll be interested to see that video here. So check that out.
Yeah, after seeing that, I know when it was originally out there, I was like, do I really want to pay $500 for that? But it looks so cool. We hadn't seen the images of the Micro Galaxy version. And then as soon as we saw the image of the Micro Galaxy, I was like, wow, that's a lot of color. And then, fast forward and you see everybody's unboxing their HasLab, and I'm like,
100%. I felt the same way. I know.
yeah,
It was imposing and at the same time unimpressive to me.
right.
And I don't want to be a hater or like pit one against the other, but
Hmm.
I have the Razor Crest and the Falcon and all those, and I love them. But we'll see if it changes when I open it up. But yeah, just from a purely exterior, just looking on it, it's kind of drab.
Yeah, agreed. The
Yeah.
figures look great, though.
Oh, that's 85% of the reason I got them was for those figures.
Yeah.
All right. Now is when we will typically move on to our big topic or discussion of the week. If you have a topic or discussion that you'd like for us to discuss, you can send that into Micro Galaxy Squadcast at gmail.com or send us a message on Micro Galaxy Squadcast on Instagram, and we will take that into consideration. No promises. There's only so many times we can discuss chases and rares.
Yes, we are well aware of the community's feeling
Yeah.
about chases and rares.
Our topic of the week, our topic of this episode, top 10 of 2024.
Yep,
It
I've
was a
got my
good year.
list. It was a good year.
I think our top fives, our top threes across the board are probably going to be pretty similar.
Yep.
Just my guess. But you know, it's that bottom five. I hope to see a little creativity, a little difference in there, because there was some cool stuff this year, and we'll throw in a couple honorable mentions maybe before we hit number one.
Yeah, agreed. So who's going to start? You want to start, or you want me to start?
So I did not grab every single thing on my list here. Images would have been really cool to have for each one, but that was a little too much work for me this week. So I'll hold up. Some of them I grabbed a boxed version. Some of them I've got in hand here. I was
nice. Yeah, I have a couple of
them. Dropping in a should we do a little banner here?
Yeah, do it.
Let's see.
While you're doing that, I'll grab a couple here.
Yeah, do that. I'm gonna for video viewers, I always got to remember that I probably should have been a little more. It's going to take a bit to. Sorry, audio listeners. We'll try to be more descriptive when we're. We'll try to be more descriptive when we're going through some of those images, product images. Video may be the best way to watch, but doesn't work for everybody. So, number 10. I've got this fancy little ticker going here at the bottom. Kevin, what do you think about that? Did you grab some?
I'm back. I got.
I am gonna pull up my list here. Not memorized. Oh, okay. I don't know if this is controversial with the parameters of 2024, but Kevin, you want to kick us off?
Okay, sure. Yeah, number 10. For me, there's a lot of great things come in small packages. So
no way.
For me, I think number 10 is the Sabine Scout class.
Very, very, very cool.
The amount of deco that they have for a $5 toy is pretty amazing, with the speeder deco as well as the figure, which is a brand new mold that's probably not going to be reused for anything.
Yeah, kudos to them.
Pretty incredible.
Especially with the helmet. I don't think we see her necessarily wear that helmet anywhere else. So that my guess is that's the only place we're going to see that.
Right.
And I'm not upset. You know, we'll get her in several different. I believe if you've seen some of the stuff coming out, we may be getting her in 3 different looks.
Well, we already have.
But yeah, we've I guess I meant Ahsoka Sabine, but
okay, gotcha.
That's a great choice. That's surprising. I will say when you said great things in small packages, I thought we were about to pull up the same thing.
Oh, really?
No. Actually, I remember a conversation. I'm not sure how high you were on this ship, but mine, number 10.
Oh man,
Luke's Landspeeder.
Landspeeder. I totally forgot Landspeeder was this year.
So yeah, fun. This thing is it's amazing. I love this thing. It does look absolutely teeny tiny inside the packaging.
Yeah.
But there's something about it. The details are sharp. They pulled it off. I think it looks great. It's fun. It's tiny. It's detailed. It's impossible to get.
Agreed.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was a challenge.
I don't know if that's controversial.
For sure.
Released not in 2024, but the only way for us Americans to get it was the Vault set, which did come out in 2024. So the only way for Americans to grab it, that's my number 10, and I love it. And I would still love for them to release another pack with it redecoed.
Gosh, we've been waiting for that. That was another one that was hinted at previously.
Exactly, yeah. A ship that iconic should not be limited to 5,000, and I have faith that we will see it again somehow. Whether it's a Sandcrawler battle pack and it's in there with that, who knows? I don't know. That's not a tease. I don't know that. I don't want to get in trouble here. That's not a tease.
When we had talked about that in the past, it was, you really want a big brown box. that was the comment on that one.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to number 9.
Number 9.
I don't have this one right in hand.
Oh man,
but
I'm gonna have to. Why don't you pull yourself up there and
Yep.
I'm gonna awkwardly shimmy back here in the corner of this room and grab. I think I can reach my number 9.
Go for it. So for me, number 9 was a bit of a toss up, but I did have to go with an OT classic of the B-Wing. The B-Wing is such a cool looking vehicle. Seeing it relative to the Action Fleet version and next to it is just amazingly different, because I really like the Action Fleet version, but then you get the Micro Galaxy one right next to it, and it looks so much thinner and sleeker versus the Action Fleet one is just very bulky and just doesn't look quite as good. But yeah, the B-Wing, I think it was a tough one to put at 9. I really wanted to push it higher up, but yeah, there's so many other good ones that are coming.
That's a great choice, Kevin.
Yeah.
Spoilers. That will be on my list.
Nice. So what about yourself? What was number 9 for you?
I don't know if this is on yours. We have not seen. I'll let everybody know. We have not seen each other's lists, so we are finding out along with everyone else what each other has picked for these. Number 9, a set that there's just something about it that I loved and connected with. It's very, very cool, maybe a little flaccid, but classic cartoon.
I was going to say the skiff.
Nice. He fell over. I don't have them all in there.
The classic cartoon.
Don't have them all in their little clips, but
yeah, it's one of the most interesting sets out there, because for as much talk, that's another one of those where that was supposed to be that class of vehicle at Walmart. That was going to be the troop transport. This was supposed to be the third thing after the pod racers with Anakin.
Never even hit retail shelves.
Hit shelves. You can only get it on Walmart.com.
Travesty. Walmart did the same thing with the Ghost, which is slightly troubling, but I'm glad it was online. I'm glad we got it for $20, man.
Agreed.
It's got better deco than the standard release.
Way better.
And I love the figures, and I love scene specific stuff like this. So cool. And I think you need the common. It didn't totally negate the common release, because you need the other figures from that.
Correct. You do. That's exactly right.
So pulling all those figures together, I love world building. You've got a little bit of a scene. The only thing we're missing is a sail barge.
That's right. Yeah. Do we have? Oh yeah, Lando's in there. Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So Jazzwares, if you're listening, if we ever get Jazz Labs up and running, let's do that sail barge. Is that you think that's a salt class?
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You could do lights and sounds with it. Oh man, could you imagine?
Yeah, man. Could you imagine you get dim orange lighting in there?
Yeah,
the sounds that thing could make. Just Jabba dying and
the laugh.
The music. Awesome. Oh, that little music loop from it. You could do so much stuff. It's got to come. It's a classic ship. It's a classic scene. There's going to be a lot of people that are mad that that version of Leia will likely not come with it. But man, throw in the band, throw in like a yak face. Give me MGS Jabba.
Yes, please.
My goodness. I'll tell you what, I loved my Action Fleet Jabba, but that soft material that it
I
came in
know.
has
It's kind of
broken
like
down over time,
melts.
and now it's just a very, very sticky Jabba.
Yes, agreed.
Not from
Although
anything
that's
I've done,
probably
but
what he
purely the
should be
toy
like.
itself has
Yeah.
become sticky over time.
Yep. I've got to grab my number 8 here. Actually, did I have it? Which one was it? Number 8.
I've got
Okay.
mine pretty handy here. Let me
All right. I've got my number 8, although I'm going to have to take it off of this other vehicle to be able to show
okay.
it.
Well,
So, number 8 is the Phantom 2.
look at that
This
thing.
this thing is so cool. The uh if there's one critique I had about it, it's just with the little clips on the bottom that like how it connects to the Ghost. But the
Slightly
fact that
finicky, right?
yeah, it's slightly finicky. But the fact that you get an opening door on the back, the whole top comes off, Chopper sits in there nice, and that you get Kanan with the mask
A
was a
figure I never
huge
would have thought we would
surprise.
have gotten.
Yeah, never.
Unless they there was a point in time where I thought they would just go ahead and give us a whole other repack of the Ghost with a season 4 look for each character.
Yeah.
They still
Plus
may
the
do that.
little
Who knows? They got to get their money out of that mold, but
yeah.
really, really, really cool. We went from 0 choppers to like we're drowning in choppers now.
I know we really are.
Yeah, I love that
That's so
release. The
cool.
deco is amazing. The play features are amazing. The
Yeah.
functionality
I mean
is crazy that they were
the
able
top
to pull
comes
that
off of
off.
it. It's just so well done. There we go. There's Kanan hanging out in there. Very, very cool.
Love it. Kevin,
Yes.
my number 8,
Hit me.
a little nostalgia for me.
Oh, the E-Wing.
E-Wing.
Nice. That one's not even on my list.
The E-Wing. It didn't even make your list.
Didn't even
Now,
make my list.
I've
No.
grabbed the red version,
Yep.
the Dark Empire version, because it is a little nostalgic for me because of the
Yeah.
action fleet.
Yep.
I kind of put them on there interchangeably. Sorry, I don't know. That's a little sketchy, but to me, they're a
No,
little
that's
bit
all right.
interchangeable. I think the blue version actually looks a little better to my eye. I think I do prefer the blue version from
I agree.
Ahsoka.
Yep.
In general, I prefer the older mold, the older design
Mm-hmm.
from the EU. But glad it's back. The toy, very, very, very cool. Glad we got it. It's a fun one to add to the lineup.
Yeah, agreed. That's another one that was cool to see come out, considering all of the history behind it between that and the TIE Defender in Action
Hmm.
Fleet. To see an E-wing actually show up in an episode of Ahsoka and then be able to come out sooner after that was very cool.
Absolutely. I hope it shows up again.
Yep. All right. So now we're on to what are we on to? Number 7?
7.
7.
I know you got to go soon, so we'll start rolling through these here.
Number 7 here is the V19 Torrent. This
Not on my
is
list. Great choice.
yeah, such a cool vehicle. I never would have thought, considering how little this thing shows up in the actual, canon. It's not even really canon anymore of Star Wars. To be able to get the V19 is so cool. Yeah, super pumped about it. And the other thing that's I just have a little more of interest in it because I've got a 3D printed version that I made, you know, right around the time that we saw that this was coming out and it wasn't coming very quickly. And
As they tend to do.
yeah, so I 3D printed it and it is a pain in the butt to open the wings and everything.
Mm.
They all function, but it's great to have a toy that just is like really easy to open up. So yeah, that stand that this thing is on, this can be found on my Etsy page. So it actually will spin like that.
Look at that.
So
And it looks classy.
yeah, thanks.
Kevin, my number 7.
7. Oh yeah, there you go.
Yep.
You
We just
jumped it
saw
up
it.
a couple spots.
I was one spot higher than you, I believe.
Yep. Nice.
Love it. Absolutely love it. It's awesome. The deco is just really special. It jumps off the shelf.
It does.
I love that little. It's not a decal, but
Yeah.
looks
Hopefully we
great.
get Anakin's Azure Angel to go with the V19. There has been a listing on Walmart that has showed that, but we don't know when or if or what's happening with that.
Who knows? Walmart
Hmm.
playing a dangerous game.
Yes, they are. So number 6, this one we actually talked about earlier in the episode, which is the Fiend Fighter. This
I was
again,
going through ships, and I think it's really really cool. Not on my list. Spoilers. It did not show up on my list. I really really like it though. Now I'm trying to figure out, is that Shins
it
or
is.
yeah.
This is Shins. Either one of them. I do like Shins a little bit better.
Yeah,
Just the
Marux is I don't have that
more
one yet.
bland.
I have not found that one yet,
Mm,
but it's a little less interesting, correct?
it is.
A little
Agreed.
less paint on it, a little less interesting, right?
Yep. Yep.
Um, we are on, let's see, what are we on? 6.
6. Oh, there
6.
it is. The B Wing.
I love it. It's always been my favorite. So cool.
It is cool.
The mold is not, it would have been higher on my list if the just a couple tweaks, I think, to
Hmm.
the design. But I still love the way it came out. The wings are a little long. This could have potentially cracked just right into the top 5
Hmm.
if the wings had been a little longer. I mean, a little shorter. But
Hmm.
just really, really cool. I loved the Action Fleet version. Always been my favorite ship,
Yeah.
and so glad we got it. I would not mind seeing it again. My putting on my brand manager hat. If I'm looking at vaults, I put a special B wing from a recent Star Wars show on there with some
Hmm.
special blast effects, and that's my vault exclusive.
I'm
Um,
waiting to see somebody who's going to
won't
do
go
that.
too far into spoiler territory yet,
Yeah.
but that's I'll put some blast effects on there from a certain scene in
Hmm.
a certain recent show, and I would love that thing.
Yeah. Yeah. If you haven't been on social media and seen what Cole's hinting at, then you're late to the party. So now we're to the inside of our top five
We're hitting the
here.
top 5. Top 5. We're
Top
moving
five.
along. We're moving along.
So my number 5 here is again an action fleet one that has been redone, but sized up to be the size it should have been initially, which is the Sith Infiltrator. The detail on the Sith Infiltrator, the
Good
front part
choice.
that opens up to where you can see all of the engine stuff. You can store the little speeder bike in there. You've got the opening cockpit area with all of the different seats in it. And you have the little bay door on the back that opens up with a little ramp. I mean, that is just so cool.
You didn't mention my stupid favorite part about it is the little vinyl cloak that slips over Maul.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's another
That I
great one.
think that's my favorite part, is that little cloak that just fits over the old mold.
Right.
I
Absolutely.
love that. That was a great idea, whoever came up with that. And
Yeah,
it looked great.
I do have to show this
Just
really quick though. Hold on one second.
he's makes him a much bigger presence sitting there like that. Oh, are you gonna grab it? That's probably better for a video live stream, is you grabbing it, because I don't have my number 5 in hand either.
All right. So I do have here is the flight stand for this guy. And this thing is how this needs to be displayed.
Yeah, I need that.
I mean, this it looks so much better when it's in
It
this flight
does.
position with the wings out like that. Um,
Is that from your shop? Is that one of yours?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
need to
not
print that.
offered in clear, and there's been a lot of people that have also asked about that the clear stands. These things are so freaking brittle that of half of the stands that I've printed for myself, when I try to put them together, I break them.
What's
So
up, Brent?
yeah, I just don't want to offer that out there for people to get it and it breaks. But this is such a cool looking vehicle. And for it to be that size too, I mean, Pretty amazing.
What a great release. That I strongly I really considered putting that on my list. It didn't quite make it, but man, if you don't have that one and can find it on sale at Target, jump on it because it's a really, really cool release.
Yeah.
I love almost that whole episode 1 collection was
Agreed.
amazing.
It
I
is
love
really
how
cool.
deep and weird they got with it. The bongo,
Yeah.
not
And
on my list, but
yeah,
really,
the
really
pod
cool.
racers.
Yeah. So I don't have this in hand, but my number 5, speaking of episode 1 collection, not the Sith Infiltrator, the Boonta Eve Classic Pod Racer set.
I literally just said the pod racers. I know those are awesome. Those are really, really
that
good.
set is I like the original one from Walmart. Great set.
Yep.
Seeing these, it's very clear to me that these must have been designed at pretty different points in the team's cycle, like life cycle.
Yeah.
Because we heard about that Boonta, the first pod racer set a long time ago for Walmart. It took Walmart ages to actually get that onto shelves.
Yeah.
Ages and ages for it to show up at retail. My guess is this was designed quite a bit later, and it shows like the detail on
the
these
details are
weird,
incredible.
obscure pod racers.
Yeah.
The deco that's on that is incredible. And it's just one of those Micro Galaxy pieces that when it's sitting on a shelf, it's interesting. It draws your eye. You look at it and smile. It's just one that they pulled off. And then on the reveal stream with Paul to hear the team, I think it was John, maybe talk about them watching the race over and over and over, and for Sebulba to get repacked with it, with the battle damaged version, to hear the care that went in there, like literally every frame we went through, and when something happens to that ship, it's okay, there it is, there needs to be a scratch there, this they hit a wall here, like the thought and care that went into where that deco shows up on a repacked ship like that, which looks way better than the first one.
Way better.
And I know sometimes people don't love when stuff gets repacked like that. My defense of that is, I think it's a hard sell to go to Target and say, hey, can you put these 3 pod racers of people that 98% of Star Wars fans couldn't tell you who they are, unless they grew up with the pod racer video game, I think there's a huge amount of casual people that have no idea who that is. So you need an Anakin or you need a Sebulba in that to sell that, not only to casual people, but to sell it to Target and to sell them on picking up that product. You've got to have a bigger draw like that. And I think that's probably the only way that we got that. And you know what, that seeing how much improvement there was in that deco, I'm not going to be mad if there's a third set with Anakin repacked and he looks that much better and is leveled up that much.
Agreed. I don't think we're getting that anytime soon. It didn't sound like in that chat with them that there's anything on the docket. So fingers crossed.
I would love to see it.
Maybe at the 30-year mark.
You never know. It could be something. Maybe that's something they pick up for Vault. That's probably a lot of new tooling for Vault.
Sure.
But man, I would be forever indebted to whoever would pick up just one more set.
I already know
if we never get Ben,
Quadraneris, gotta have Quadraneris.
That would be.
That would be
an
the travesty.
Absolute travesty, Kevin.
Yeah.
If we never see my boy Ben.
That's right. Number 4. So this one I'm going. This one not only looks incredible in the package, it looks even better out of the package.
Do we have a samesies?
This one is the hologram X-Wing. Oh man, the hologram Luke Skywalker's X-Wing is so cool.
Good in and out.
It looks amazing. I mean, seeing this on the shelf when you see it, or you just see it in the package, it just really pops. And then having it out and being able to, play around with it and fly it. The fact that it's as transparent as it is, and it's not like opaque, it's amazing. I love it. They could do their whole line in these hologram ones, and I would be interested in it.
Yeah, I agreed.
So
I love the idea of rares and chases just being hollow versions of existing ships, so
that would
we
be
don't feel
awesome.
like we're losing something to that side of the line. I don't want to call it a gimmick, but
Yeah,
you know,
that was a good. That was a good
I
save there.
I did enjoy that. And pro tip, I'm not sure who the first person to do this was. I know I've seen Scott Jones do it. The Black Series pucks from their hologram figures are great. If you
I saw that May right now.
buy some of those pucks, Kevin,
$2 on Walmart.
$2, $2. Those things are that people
I've
have not
considered.
loved those figures. It's pretty obvious that that was not a great idea on
No.
Hasbro's part. But if you find them for $6, $4, they've been down to like $2.50 at Walmart. Buy them just for the little light up puck.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it runs for about 20 seconds, or if you hold it down, it stays on maybe.
Mm.
Those are great to either put the hollow speeder on
Sorry about
or
that.
put the that X-wing above it.
Hey,
What's
special
up,
guest.
Yoko?
Yoko, thanks for signing on. We revealed you as a guest host here earlier this episode.
You're just here in time for the top 3 here in a second.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, great choice. Not on my list, but it does look great in and outside the packaging.
Oh man,
Something
these top
else,
3.
something else that looks great in and outside the packaging.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I didn't even
Red
think
Squadron.
about it. I
What?
didn't even think. Yeah.
Oh, Kevin.
Man, I can't believe I
that would
missed
have
that.
changed the whole dynamic of your
That would have
list.
changed the whole dynamic. I would have put, probably after 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 all would have been those X-Wings. Yeah.
Sure. This release all in one here.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is my second favorite Vault release.
Really? What's number 1?
The AT-AT set.
Oh, the AT-AT.
Love the AT-AT set. It is also getting cropped down on my picture, unfortunately. I might have to move that down and put the clones up where I can get that Micro Galaxy thing here on screen going forward. But man, what an amazing set. And this is what I remember in the past saying this is what Vault needs.
Yeah.
Repack X-Wings as Rogue Squadron, Red Squadron, whatever, Blue Squadron.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a no-brainer to me to give people that are fleet building these.
Mm-hmm.
Man, those little differences in deco on these things are what make a great display.
But they're not even little in the Red Squadron.
I mean, for sure. I mean, and the attention to detail with that set, amazing.
Helmets on all the pilots. I mean,
people were getting deals on them with stuff on Vault.
Yeah.
What a great set. Maybe one day we'll get Porkins, my boy.
Mm-hmm. The other thing I do have to say
he shows
too,
up somehow. But I love that Gold Squadron. They could do some kind of, I don't know if we could get a Phoenix Squadron or something, but
you could do all of them.
There's so much they could do with that.
On my YouTube review of the Red Squadron, I took some actual screenshots of the actual ILM models and the helmets from the pilots. And I mean, the deco on it is amazingly similar. I mean, they must have been using it even on Red 4, the one engine that's black, that's all burned out. That is on the actual studio, the ILM model, which is pretty incredible to have that. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't even have that on my list. Man, I totally whiffed on that.
Oh man,
everyone! All right, so we're gonna amend my list, shift everything down. I'll tie you there.
Oh man, 4. I think we'll probably go over on the Instagram account at some point in the next day or two, and kind of post for posterity. We'll get everybody's lists up.
Nice.
I think we'll probably we'll be grabbing a top 3 from the other guest host pool, and we'll throw up their top 3. So so people know what we're dealing with.
Number 3 was a big boy for me. The ATTE. I mean, that is so cool, so versatile. You've got the different panels that come off. You've got the elevator for the barks in it. You have the rotating gun on the top. All the legs function. Yeah, that's a really good one. I used it in a couple of my in one of my displays. Yeah, amazing. I mean, it's one of the best.
I thought this might happen in some manner. I didn't think it
Mhm.
would be exactly the same, but I'm starting to get a feeling like our top threes might be pretty in sync here. My number 3, um,
Nice.
the ATTE.
Yes.
The
Incredible.
first Dreadnought class, I believe, first
Mhm.
Dreadnought class vehicle.
Yep.
We got like a little peek of it at through blurry photos at Toy Fair.
Mhm.
Man, what an incredible piece, and a little bit of future proofing on there. I hope if
Mhm.
people keep mentioning the caps at the top of the legs there, that
Yeah.
those joints. If a larger drop ship attaches to that, that might be in this year or next year's top 3. We'll see.
It was certainly one of those things that was hinted at in the past of like, well, yeah, wouldn't that be you'd have to have this LAATC
If
that
you have
connects to it,
this, you have to
yeah.
have. Yep.
That's exactly
Yep.
right. Yeah. So now the question here is, I think
Uh-huh.
our top 2 are gonna be the same. So I don't know if we should just
I'm
reveal
thinking
these
I'm
at the
thinking oh, yeah, hold
same
on. Let
time or
me let's
not.
pull up top 2 here, and, do you have it with you?
Oh, yeah, it's always sitting right here on my
I
desk
have
in
mine
its
with
flight
me.
mode.
Do we wanna hold them up at the same time and
Yeah,
see if,
mine I think is gonna fly into the scene.
3, 2, 1. Mine flew directly into my table.
Yes. This T6 is incredible. The just the scale of it is really nice. The size, the wings that turn like that are fantastic. You've got the opening cockpit. The one thing I did on
It's
mine, you
so
can
good,
see,
Kevin.
is I
It's so
cut
good.
those tabs off of the side of the cockpit,
Oh,
and it
man,
looks
we'll have
so
to
much
when we have a
better.
little more time, we'll have to talk about these tabs, this tab business they've got going
Yeah,
on right
yeah.
now.
Yep.
I don't know who these tabs are for, these people that, don't have fingernails or tools, but,
Yeah.
for all the fingernail-less, just like, meat stick-handed people around, you ruin it for the rest of us.
Yeah. It was the
Where
same
did
thing with
these
the Fiend
tabs
Fighter.
come from, and why are they here?
Agreed. Agreed.
Well, so before, we have a very, uh
Our similar number 1.
yeah, I think we can all see where this is going. But hold on, before we inevitably show that off, let's do some honorable mentions before we show off this anticlimactic number 1. Did you prepare any honorable mentions?
Oh, yeah. I've got one major honorable mention, which
I've
is
I've I've got
actually on
2
the
that
list.
just didn't make the list, but they're really, really cool, and I am glad.
Dirge is by
Oh, man,
far one of my honorable mentions.
my first honorable mention.
Oh, it sounds like you're opening something up.
My
Is
first
that
honorable
Dirge?
mention, also Dirge.
Nice. Yeah,
Wow.
pretty incredible that we got such a unique character like that
Kevin,
in
this is
this.
this is why I'm trying to bring on some other voices onto this show.
I know we had a lot of similar ones here, though, man. That's pretty good.
Oh, man, just our honorable mentions. We need somebody else on here with, a little more creative maybe.
Yeah.
Now, this will be wild. Your second honorable mention.
Oh, I only had one. I
Okay.
only had one.
Okay. Just another one that I thought was really, really, really cool and really, really
Mhm.
loved, but didn't quite make it into the list is, Kevin, maybe my favorite version of this fighter in the line,
Mhm.
so far, which is saying something because I just put 5 of them on the list.
Yeah.
Hera's
Hera's
X-Wing
X-Wing is pretty awesome
is
too.
a really, really, really good
Agreed.
representation on that. I love the deco on it. It just
Mhm.
really, really pops off the shelf. Looks cool.
It does look cool.
One of my favorites from this
The
year.
figure
But
looks great as well. I mean, this was
yep,
another one, it
yep.
kind of has a little bit of sentimental value to me because I went through and made a
More
custom
Chopper.
version of the action fleet and did one. So it's cool to actually see them do a version like a production version, which is very cool.
Love it, love it, love it. It's such a cool one. So, I
I
mean,
jumped the gun on our number one, but I think we
yeah,
already know what number one
and
is.
really, I don't think it was much of a spoiler. It became pretty clear where this was going. I don't think anyone would have guessed anything else. Anything else was going to happen. But the Ghost, Kevin,
I
we
mean,
talked about it earlier in the
how awesome
show.
is this? And then hold on.
Jazzwares knocked this out of the park. It is incredible. Now, I've I
Oh,
have
you've got the battle damage version.
so I think this is my favorite version purely for
Yeah, the interior.
the interior. The painted seats in there. I've even got the whole crew in
Mhm.
there, I believe.
Yeah, nice.
Look at that, man. That is
That is really cool.
so so cool. It's just one of the best things about this line. You pop open that
Mhm.
cockpit, all the crew's in there.
Yeah.
Look at those painted seats.
Plus the
It makes you
interior of
feel
it.
something, you know.
Yeah.
And it had a stand. Always a
Mhm.
plus. Always a plus. I did kind of combine these two releases for my number one. The
Yeah.
standard is amazing, but I'm gonna have to give the edge to this release because no tracking down the Phantom.
Mhm.
We got a bonus gold 3 Y Wing, which is amazing.
Mhm.
And you know what? If they release a season 4 version with a whole season 4 lineup of Rebels crew, I'm probably going to buy it again a third time.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
I would agree.
I love it.
That plus Ahsoka, you get Ahsoka
I
with
know.
Jason in it. Yeah.
It's so good. It is
You could
so
do a
good. I
battle
love it.
damage version of it. Yeah, it'd be again, I think it's awesome as well.
And
Incredible that they got so much into something that's that small.
yeah, absolutely. And you know, if you're watching or listening and you have a top 5, top 3, top 10 even, um make sure to tag us in that and we'll try to share those in stories maybe.
Yeah.
That
Agreed.
was fun. A little anticlimactic. I didn't expect our top 3 to be exactly the same, but we'll see what the once I get everybody's in, we'll see what the rest of the crew's top 3 is. Maybe there's an outlier in there somewhere, but my
Mhm.
guess is they're going to be pretty similar.
Agreed.
Those were just outstanding, stellar releases.
Yeah.
I you know, it's kind of a cop out that I think last year mine was the AT-AT. You know, I
They've
don't
done
want it to
such a
be the
good
same
job with
every
the
it's like,
assault
okay, the
class.
assault class, the big one's gonna
Yeah.
be the best one, but that's kinda how it goes. There's more room for
Yeah.
features, more room for detail, you know.
Yep. Yeah, it's funny with my T6 I have here sitting next to me. Um, it had fallen down at one point, and Ahsoka fell out of the seat, and she ended up standing up right in the middle of the seat. I don't know if you can see that, or you can see her in there. Oh, let me turn it this way.
It's the force.
Can you see her standing up right in the middle?
Yeah, force moves.
Which is like I just can't go in there and move it now. Now every time I look over at it, I see her standing there in the cockpit.
Um, that was fun. Good list. Saw some cool things on there. What a
Yeah,
great year for releases.
absolutely.
We're
Great
coming
year.
up on an hour 20. That was our main topic for this episode. Typically, after that, I think it'd be fun to just touch on quickly touch on some of the bigger Star Wars news. Just to hit it real quick. The biggest news of the last couple weeks: Skeleton Crew is over.
Yes, amazing show.
Skeleton Crew, maybe not as divisive as some recent shows.
Yeah.
Kevin, what's your out of 10 ranking for Skeleton Crew?
I would say an 8, maybe 8.5. Yeah. The only thing that got me, you and I talked about it a little bit, was just at the very end. The whole thing leading up to it was so
Yeah.
much fun. Oh, it was so cool. Like
Amazing.
it was so cool. Each
for me,
episode
also
was
8.5.
Yeah.
And maybe part of this is going in with maybe below zero expectations. Not a show I cared about, not a show I was excited for.
Right.
Didn't want it at all. I'm not out here posting negative stuff online like, why are they making this? Just apathetic, I would say, towards it. And maybe questioning, that's a weird decision.
Yeah.
Having seen the show, man, did they ever kill it. It's so good.
That was cool.
Knocked it out of the park. And it was after the last several shows, I think, from a technical standpoint, this matched Andor in most ways of a technical craft of filmmaking.
Yeah.
So there have been things in Acolyte, Kenobi, even some Book of Boba Fett, where there are technical aspects of filmmaking. Ahsoka, where I'm just annoyed by, man, Ahsoka's color grade is really weird and boring. Or, man, the actual editing in Acolyte is super jarring and weird, like amateur almost. Or the lighting, the production design feels cheap. The dialogue, the writing, things just kind of happen. And on a technical level, this show checked every box, and I wasn't worried about it. I didn't even think about any of it. I was just along for the ride. And the one thing that Andor does not have, which it's amazing, it's a prestige drama. But I've been telling people this is kind of like the yin and yang of what Star Wars can be, is where you've got something real and gritty, and it's the war part of Star Wars. And it was incredible. This finally brought back the fun and adventure and wonder of Star Wars. And I felt like even outside of a few bits of Rise of Skywalker, the adventure is what I've been missing. There's a wonder and adventure that hasn't been. Rebels does this well, where there's wonder and adventure to it, but seeing it through the kids' point of view, you're able to kind of put yourself or your younger self in that position, and you're watching Star Wars through their eyes, and it's like they are experiencing Star Wars the way you grew up wanting to experience it. And man, what a treat. It's nice to have something out that isn't quite as divisive as a lot of the recent things have been. In terms of Micro Galaxy Squadron, I've seen it mentioned a ton. So before even 3, so there was a point, even though I'm enjoying the show, my business mind is saying, ooh, man, I don't know if you need to put all that development and money into the Onyx Cinder. I don't know the numbers. I don't think the numbers of this show are super great right now.
Yeah.
I would be worried about that sitting on shelves if you put out a massive Dreadnought or Assault class Onyx Cinder. The sell-through might be low.
Yeah.
Slight spoilers, if for anybody who hasn't seen the show, cover your ears. When you go through that moment where it essentially sheds its skin, that was the second that I was like, oh, that ship is gorgeous.
That is awesome.
It looks amazing. It has like a classic Old Republic, New High Republic Uh,
Yeah, U-wing type
just
of
a
feel.
beautiful sheen to it. The design is classy. It's elegant. It looks incredible. And I said, I want that. And that, the Onyx Cinder didn't move the needle for me at all.
Right.
When that thing popped out, I thought, I've got to have that. And I don't care if it's profitable. I just want that
Mhm.
in my hands. I want to see it.
Yeah.
My guess is it would be very easy to do the kids on their small little speeder bikes
Mhm.
as scout class. I think those are perfect for scout class.
Yep.
I'd love the whole crew on those. I can't even handle the idea of a Micro Galaxy Neil. Can't
I
handle
know
it.
that would be awesome.
It would be too much.
Yeah.
Loved everything about the show. Um, I don't care if it's profitable. I want that version 2 of the Onyx Cinder. And
Mhm.
as I was mentioning earlier, I would also love a new B-wing from the show with blast effects
With the blast
doing
effects.
that
Somebody's gonna make
laser.
that. I'm sure they will. I
It
mean, someone's gonna
that's
3D print
my
that.
like repack that, put it on Vault, charge $30 for it. I want that amazing thing that taps on to the
Mhm.
cannons and makes that beam. Oh, what a treat. Like you said, my only issue at all with the show
Mhm.
is you have that climax and
Yeah.
then it's kind of just over.
Right.
That
Yeah.
felt slightly unsatisfying to me. I
Agreed.
um I would have loved I feel like it's a very 80s Amblin coming of age movie vibe like that to
Mhm.
have tagged on just a 5-minute epilogue where we catch up with the kids a couple months later, and
Mhm.
after all of that, just get a slight tease of what are these kids' lives like now?
Yeah.
What is that planet like now? Do people hate them because they've totally changed the dynamic of that world forever?
That's
Um,
very true.
you know, you could have teased something a little more, with Jod. Who knows? That was the only thing. That's why it's an 8.5 for me. I think
Mhm.
it would have been a solid 9, maybe even a 9.5 if that epilogue had been there. But
Yeah. No, that would've been
love the
good.
show.
Agreed.
That's all we'll touch on for Star Wars for now. The last thing we'll try to do is
Oh,
I want to
yeah,
do
we
a
gotta do
community
this.
spotlight each episode.
Absolutely.
This is Steve Hines. If you're still in here, he posted this on Facebook. I want to spotlight this
Incredible.
amazing display. It's clean,
Incredible
it's
setup.
classy. I love mixed shelves. More and more, I'm liking that.
Yeah.
You've got some Black Series in there, maybe some TVC. Some of it's boxed, some of it's not boxed. You can
Yep.
go on to eBay and find these little 3D printed and painted placards that I
Mhm.
love going in displays like this.
Yes.
These
That
are
is really cool.
I forget the name. They're Brogart or something like that. Brogart shelves on Brogar, maybe shelves on Amazon. They come pre-lit. I might drop a link to them in the video notes, but that's going to be my Detolf
Yeah.
successor. The Detolfs got discontinued.
Oh, did they
These
really?
are what I'm picking up next time I need a display. I love the way these look.
Yeah, I
And
love the one that with the Death Star in there.
yeah,
That one looks
absolutely.
sweet, and then you got Hoth down there on the bottom. I'm always a sucker for the
Yeah. So
Imperial hangar
Steve
look
Hines on
too.
Facebook, he was in chat earlier. Amazing
Yeah, it's
display.
still here.
Anything is fair game for community spotlight. If you want to send in submissions, you can do that on Instagram or through that email we mentioned earlier. Obviously, the main thing we'll probably end up seeing a lot of toy photography is a massive deal with Micro Galaxy Squadron. So
Mhm.
this next image fitting for your top 10 list.
Yes.
I don't feel like I've seen a lot of toy photography of the Sith Infiltrator, and I came across this, and I was like, man, they didn't do anything
Mm-hmm.
except set that there, light it really well, and take a pretty picture.
Yeah.
This is
No, that
from
is cool. That's
Open. You
like
can find this at Open Play Pose on Instagram. And
yeah,
it was just a classy photo of something I haven't seen.
super simple.
Steve Hines is in chat. What's up, man? I told you we'd have a call out for you here towards the end. It's cool. It's classy. I also love when it's a massive war scene and we have all kinds of stuff going on
Mm-hmm.
in the photos. But there was something about the simpleness to this. It's just a nicely lit, pretty shot of a great ship.
Yeah.
But yeah, hit us up on Instagram, Micro Galaxy Squadcast, with submissions. Tag us in your photos. I already know one thing I want to highlight next episode, and it is not a photo or a display.
Nice. Thanks, Steve. Thanks for posting all those pictures, man. Great
Kevin,
inspiration. Yeah.
I know you've got to go. We
Yes.
went 20 minutes or so longer than you needed to. I'm so glad to be back. It's been a blast.
Agreed. Same
Do
here.
you have anything coming up? Any content? Anything you want to plug?
No, man.
Why
I'm
don't you
just
plug your Etsy store since you've mentioned
yeah.
it several times already
Yeah,
here?
my Etsy store, I don't even know what it's called, to be honest.
Oh man,
You can find it on my page. It's let me look it up here. I am like busy catching. I'm so far behind on orders right now. It
good
is
problem to
becoming a
have.
yeah, KT Customs Micro
KT
is
Customs Micro. So if you pull Kevin underscore micro underscore fleet, Kevin micro fleet on Instagram, my guess is they can get to that in the links in your
yes,
bio.
they
Correct.
can. Yep. Yep, as well
Perfect.
as on any of my YouTube at KM Tanner 04. Um, any of the videos on there, I have a link to that as well.
The
So,
man with the most Micro Galaxy Squadron videos on the internet. I'm just assuming that's the case.
I mean, I've got literally
Don't tell me
everything.
if I'm wrong. Yeah,
The
my
only
guess
thing
is
I'm
that's true.
missing is the trench run, the Amazon exclusive trench run. That's the only one that I don't have of everything that's out there. But
That's amazing. That's a lot of
yeah,
work. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of effort. We appreciate you being here.
yeah. And how about your
Uh,
page?
yep, you can follow me at Micro Galaxy Squadron on Instagram. Go check out Micro Galaxy Squadcast. That's where we'll kind of keep some clips and all the up to date info and things like that. We'll let you know who's going to be on the next episode. So 2 weeks from now, we're trying to do bi-weekly here. In
Yeah,
2 weeks, we'll reconvene and have another episode. Man, thank you to everybody who joined us.
yeah. Agreed.
And
Thanks for
if
tuning
you're a
in.
new audio listener tomorrow when this goes up, thank you as well. Give us some feedback on audio. That's a new thing for us. We'll try
Yes.
to be more descriptive in the future.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, I guess now it's time to sign off, right?
Yep. Thanks for
What
following us.
are we gonna have
You
like
can
a
catch the live streams on either my Micro Galaxy Squadron YouTube channel, Kevin's YouTube channel, and we'll maybe figuring out some other options for that as well, and podcast services. Thank you
yeah,
so much for joining us. If you have submissions for topics or community spotlight, you can hit us up on Instagram or microgalaxysquadcast@gmail.com. Thank you. We love that you're here hanging out with us. It is so fun to talk these toys with other people.
absolutely. Yeah, what's our sign off going to be? We're going to need to have some type of like
Listen, I've
really cool
brainstormed a
sign off.
bunch, and none of them feel quite right yet.
Yeah,
They
we're gonna have to do something kind of like Smartless does with the buy, where they're always looking for a way to say bye to get off the air.
Yeah,
So
it every single one of them sounds so cheesy. I think you have to just say it confidently and know
yeah,
that it's kind of dumb, and
absolutely.
that's how you do it. But we'll workshop some of those. I think
Yeah, we're
maybe we'll just
squadding
do
off
really bad
until
ones
next time.
every episode, and we'll try to top ourselves
Yeah,
with how bad each sign off is, each tagline.
yeah,
Do
that'd
you
be
have
good.
one for us?
I think for right now, it's we're squadding off.
Squadding off. Oh man. Um, oh, I didn't expect it to be that weird. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Thanks for being here. We're squadding off.
we're
See you in
squadding
2
off.
weeks.
See you in 2 weeks.